Alright. Hello, hello, hello!
Good evening, guys, and welcome back to Buy the Dice. Excuse me. Chris is running late this evening, so he'll be here in a little while.
We don't have our usual sponsors on the screen.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So obviously things are changing up a little bit, and as a result, other than Chris, this is what it's looking like for Nox Vitalia for a little while. So definitely make a backup character. This is not a drill. Keep it leveled up. Make excuses for why it's there. It looks like we actually do have decent sound and everything, I hope. I can't tell just yet.
Now,
Yep. We're good. Okay, now I don't need this anymore. Cool. So, as always, thank you to Rare Earth on the corner of Highway 99 and Elmira, I think it's Road in Eugene, Oregon.
yeah, I don't have one of the business cards on me, or I would give you the exact address.
They supply us with a great deal of our old Toby and at least one of our players.
Right.
More music.
Other than that, thank you to Martia's Muses. The link to their YouTube channel is on there. They will be bringing up the bio break music for the evening. No Heroes Feast tonight because nobody had the energy or the funding right at the moment.
I mean, it's been too hot to cook, so that's why I didn't make anything.
Yeah, we should get some cans of tuna and make tuna salad soon.
Right, there's stuff I could make, it's too hot.
Yeah, I thought about making like cheesy fries, and then I realized we has no cheesy for the fries. It's gonna make seasoned fries, and I realized that required the oven. And just no.
I was gonna make like a chicken noodle soup kind of deal.
Ooh.
Like veggies, some chicken, some big old chunks of potato.
I could do like ramen noodle bowl a lot faster than that.
Yeah,
With the chicken even.
yeah. I was thinking about making it in the crock pot though.
Anyway,
Might just make it for that.
Anaya, your standard issue announcement.
Thank you, as always, to Reptiles for providing ink and paper for the printer that helps us create our backup characters, because this is not a drill.
Thank you to Ginny D for the lyrics. She has a song called TPK. You heard it yet, Fuzzy?
Nah, actually I haven't.
I'll have to introduce you. You'll get a giggle out of it. Alright, so, with all that out the way, no Heroes Feast to thank peoples for, and the night having gone very cold, and where we last left off was with Wisp having gone to Viridia's place to stay the night, because while he had been watching the ice sculptures in the square near the portal, a large set of claws came out, grabbed one, and then there was the crunching.
Yeah, and I ran to Viridia's to alert Viridia to let Viridia know what was going on and to see what the solution was. And Viridia was like, "It's too late. We've been awake for too long. Let's go to bed and we'll take care of it first thing in the morning." And it's like, okay. So I passed out on Viridia's floor.
Alright, and now, at roughly the wee hour of 7 o'clock, you find yourself in a spot of sunlight right on your nice black furry head. As you're laying in the window light from the south-facing window of her hut. The room is empty. Viridia is nowhere to be found. It looks like her backpack and a few other things are missing, but beyond that, no clue.
No note, no nothing.
Nope. Just poof.
Well, I think if I wake up and I realize that Viridia's not there, I'm probably gonna like walk around the house a little bit and just kind of like smell to see if her scent's in there. And if I notice that her scent isn't there, I'm going to go outside and start trying to find the rest of the group.
Alright, well, you can go ahead and roll a perception.
Alright. Smell for clues, yay! Oh, okay. I got a 22.
Alright, so while a great deal of the house definitely smells like her dirty laundry's in the house,
Okay.
she didn't take her dirty laundry with her at least.
Alright.
She is nowhere to be found. Not invisible, nothing like that. Just not there. You do see footprints leading away from the hut that look like they've been there long enough that they've kind of filled in with drifting snow a little bit.
Okay.
But beyond that, nothing.
No. Could track her, but currently this issue is more important. So yeah, I'm gonna go and try to find the rest of the group. I would track Viridia, because, you know, that's what I do. But if she left on her own accord, there was a reason behind it. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go and try to find the rest of the group. So maybe we can like converge and work on the current problem, which is whatever is reaching through the portal and crunching on people. Bloody people popsicles.
Alright. Now, Kalora, where did you head to go to bed last night?
I went
As you go off searching.
I had a few drinks at the tavern and then went up.
Up to your room?
Yep. I'm probably still very much asleep. I had stayed up late making mud pies.
Mud pies or meat pies?
Mud pies. I was trying to make bricks to build a Dutch oven around the tent, and
Oh
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
haphazard mud pies.
I remember.
Alright. So, you wake with dirt still coating your talons, in your clothes. You managed to get the armor off before you passed out last night. So there's no crick in your neck from the chain and the plates wrenching you in the wrong direction in your sleep for once.
Fantastic. I actually remembered to take my armor off.
For once. Just this once.
Ow.
And you... So, yeah, as you wake up, you can feel some of the mud still caked to your feathers and everything, but beyond that, you're in your room. Bit of a hangover, but nothing too severe that you haven't dealt with before.
I think I'm gonna call for bath. That's the first thing I do is call for bath. Sit down and ask her.
So, you're going to head downstairs?
Yep.
As you get down there, you see Loreleaf busily working behind the bar, a couple of servers hustling between tables, the smells of the morning breakfasts all along. And it's just a big hustle and bustle with more people, it seems, daily. It's like people are starting to figure out that this is where to go to eat in the morning. Ah, thank you. Okay, so that will bring us around to you, Wisp, who would... Where would you go first?
I mean, the first place I would go would probably be the last known location. Typically, everybody in our group ends up in a bar or a tavern at some point, so I guess I would go to the tavern.
That's because just about everybody in the Middle Ages typically ended up at the pub when you were done with your day. That's how you got the news. So, yeah. As you get there, you can smell the bacon from about 2 blocks away. Them hot cakes is smelling pretty good too. Fresh sausage and ham.
Yeah.
And you notice as you're walking, we're still going to run off of your perception at a 22, a set of very muddy bird footprints. Like the snow is indented and has mud around the edges that's still browning it to some degree.
Yeah.
You know, like when you wear boots and go walking through the mud and snow. And you're pretty sure that Kalora at least made it back to the tavern last night.
Alright. I'm gonna probably start looking, well, of course I'm gonna grab some bacon. Who wouldn't grab some bacon? But I'm gonna grab some bacon and then I'm gonna start looking for Kalora.
So as you go in, Laura Leaf looks up. Alright, so breakfast this morning, love.
Of course.
Right on. Seat yourself at the bar. I'll be there in a minute. And she hustles out to the back and grabs some bacon, a couple lengths of relatively fresh deer sausage.
Any pancakes or eggs? Can't have pancakes and eggs without bacon.
Well, there's no eggs, but there are pancakes. They're about yay thick,
Okay.
about yay big around. There's 3 of them stacked high on your plate with a big pat of butter on it.
Good old maple syrup. Oh yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna ask for a little, like, a small cup, like a thimble-sized cup of bacon grease.
A thimble full of bacon grease.
Yeah.
Okay, and she wanders off to the back, muttering something like, why do you want a thimble? You can't even make a grilled cheese sandwich with that.
Well, I figure when she comes back and she gives me the cup or the thimble of bacon grease, I'm going to hold it up to the top of my top hat, where the trap door is going to pop open, and Herbie's going to dip his little head out, and I'm going to hand it to Herbie, and Herbie's just going to grab it and start eating.
Because it's a flammable liquid.
Yo.
Well, that'll at least give him some fuel for a minute.
Yeah, he likes lubricants.
Yeah.
And bacon grease is the best source that I have for it right now. Because I don't feel like getting up and going and getting anything else. I mean, let's be realistic here. I'm a hungry cat. I need my damn bacon.
So, obviously, Kalora, your bath was ordered for you. You staggered yourself back upstairs. The water turned brown within about 5 minutes of you being in it. It takes you another 20 minutes to get cleaned up. And you would be coming downstairs right about the time that 3 very large hot cakes and a very big plate of bacon and sausage with a carafe of what looks like a small carafe of what looks like some sort of amber liquid. It's kind of maple syrup.
Hey, if it tastes good on pancakes, it's good.
Elderberry honey.
Oh, hell yeah, if it tastes good on pancakes, it's good.
You notice he's got like what looks like a hero's feast in front of him is Wisp, just kind of happily mowing, and holds up a little. You get there just in time to see him hold up a thimble to his hat and Herbie to come out and grab something.
That's so good. That's so good. Well, I think that's adorable. And sit down and ponder breakfast for myself.
Where are you sitting? He's at the bar.
Just square next to him.
Alright, so Big Bird sits next to you. No snuffleupagus.
Morning, bird.
Morning, cat.
How's your day?
Wet.
You look cleaner than usual.
I took a bath.
Well, that makes sense. explains the wet feather smell.
Yes.
So, I was telling Viridia last night that there was another portal that opened. Well, the portal inside the tent opened up a little bit more, and these two giant claws reached out and grabbed somebody and pulled him in to the portal, and all I could see was crunch and bloody chunks of ice.
Okay, so the big dragon-like thing inside there is eating people.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
What do you think we should do?
Kill it.
Well, I mean, I kind of figured that. So you think we should gather people, or?
I mean, I would prefer not to go in there and try to kill this thing without a party. That seems like a... Look, I'm not a smart bird. But that seems just a little bit dumber than my brain.
Understandable. So...
About this time, Laura Leaf walks up and realizes that you've made it back downstairs. So, how's your bacon and cakes?
Delicious.
Do you need anything more?
Maybe a small, like, leak-resistant pouch or bladder bag with bacon grease in it. I'll give you an extra 2 gold.
Right.
It's for my Herbie.
I kind of figured. And she is... I'll be back with that in a moment. And, what about you, love? What's it for breakfast this morning?
Got any pig legs? Just...
No, not cooked.
Well, then just a standard breakfast, please.
Alright. So another one of what he's having. Got it. So about 10 minutes later, and about halfway through your plate, hers shows up. And a smaller there's a bladder full of bacon grease sitting there. And you also see another platter brought to between the two of you, piled high with sausage and bacon.
I'm gonna reach out and nibble on some of the sausage and ask for more pancakes. And elderberry syrup.
Well, we do have other flavors if you're interested.
Ooh, what other flavors?
Well, I've got this one. It's made from this really weird bean. They call it a cocoa syrup.
Okay, any other ones?
We've got strawberry, cherry,
Had those.
sassafras syrup.
Ooh, haven't had that.
Kind of tastes like a sarsaparilla.
Okay, I'll get some sassafras and some of the cocoa. Yeah, cocoa.
Okay. So, disappears, comes back with 2 plates with 3 stacks of with 3 pancakes on each. One smothered in a very dark, black, almost syrup that you can't really see through, but it still runs like syrup.
Okay.
And what was the other one? I'm sorry. That was.
There's sassafras.
And the other one almost looks blood red as it pours.
I'm gonna start eating that one first.
It has a very interesting taste. It would actually taste very much like root beer. So root beer pancakes.
Oh yeah. Can't go wrong with some root beer pancakes. I'd say.
You can smell these interesting concoctions that are poured over these cakes, by the way, Laura.
All right, now.
And there are 3 carafes of syrup in front of you now.
I'm gonna go with the elderly.
So real life folk here. I'm gonna make some sassafras syrup.
That's adorable. I'm gonna go with the elderflower honey.
elderflower honey.
And I'm pouring it over everything. The meat, potatoes, pancakes.
No potatoes.
I was just saying, when
No potatoes.
when the fuck did we get potatoes?
Go. Pancakes. 3 of them. Plate of sausage and bacon. Well, sausage and bacon on your plate.
Blob of butter.
Pat of butter that takes up a good 1/8 of the pancake dead center. And there's a pad like that on each pancake.
Yeah, I'm still pouring it on everything.
I'm gonna ask for more frosting.
Looks at you. Frosting?
Yes, I need more butter. There's not enough butter. I need butter to cover my whole pancake. Just smear it on there like frosting. It's like looking at a
Roll
snowy
persuasion
mountain.
for me.
$24.
Okay. And she turns around. You hear some banging and what sounds like wood scraping against wood for a minute. And she comes back out and takes a bowl about this big around.
Okay.
And I, you looking up like this, grabs it by the bottom, flips it upside down on top of your one of your stacks of pancakes, and leaves a perfectly domed, what you guess to be 2-pound half sphere of butter in the middle of your pancakes.
I'm gonna grab my other stack of pancakes with the sassafras syrup on it. Actually, I probably already ate that one. I'm gonna grab the one with the cocoa syrup on it, and I'm gonna put it on top of that butter, and I'm gonna smush it down. Cause who doesn't want a pancake and butter sandwich?
A chocolate pancake and butter sandwich.
Yes, with the elderberry honey. Yeah.
And every diabetic just died.
With a big old smile on their face.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Especially with that frosting. Frosting in the middle. It's like a giant Oreo. The double staff.
Are you actually doing this at the bar?
Yes.
All those actions?
Yes.
Okay, Kalora, you just watched all that in real time. Coming out of this cat. Spoke about some strange thing called an Oreo. And is poking it, and you watch the butter squish out as he pokes it. And then he picks it up and takes a bite out of it like a sandwich, and you watch butter ooze between his fangs and out around his whiskers a little bit.
I'm definitely gonna get syrup in my facial hair. Like, it's gonna happen. Like,
It's dripping off of the paws. You're pretty sure that there's some fur being ingested in the process of this. And it reminds you very much of some of your eating habits when you were 6 months old.
I'm gonna end up having a butter smile.
As he looks up at you, you see it. Butter caked with elderberry dark purple honey. And chunks of butter between the canine teeth of the cat.
and cocoa syrup. I'm literally gonna like look up at you and just be like, it's so
It
good.
kind of looks like he mauled somebody, actually. Right through the fatty bits.
It's so good. You want some?
Roll up one of my pancakes with the syrup and just trying to buy stuff.
Actually,
The beak.
go ahead and roll persuasion. Go ahead and roll a wisdom save.
Oh, I hate you.
Persuasion to get them to try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were making an honest to God effort.
I made a 19.
I don't know how she managed it, but that's a nat 20.
Oh yeah.
It seems tempting. That really does look lovely, but you just got clean for the first time in a month.
Yeah, see, I just can't.
Oh, you gave me an idea though. You gave me an idea. And I'm gonna like take my pancakes and I'm gonna sit them back down, like, you know, the big old bite out of it, and sit them back down on the table. I'm playing, and I'm gonna reach for some of that deer sausage, and I'm gonna take out my knife, and I'm gonna like cut it into like little halves so that it kind of folds over, kind of like you would a hot dog, and then I'm gonna take and like put it on my pancakes, in between the pancakes, and then I'm gonna take some bacon, put some bacon in there. And then I'm gonna take it, like push it all together, and I'm just gonna eat this giant freaking sandwich.
It really looks like a great idea.
Dip my pancakes in the syrup.
You know the irony is though, if you think about it in real life, it would be basically like a McGriddle.
Yeah, only with more flavor.
And no damn egg. Anyway.
That's not an egg, it's just its imagination that it was born.
Right. But I'm gonna sit here and start devouring this like crazy concoction, and it's gonna be beyond messy. There's gonna be like grease and syrup and chocolate and elderberry honey and like.
Ever seen a 2-year-old eat birthday cake?
Yeah.
And like butter.
That would be better.
And like butter everywhere, so I'm literally gonna have like all of this in my facial like chin hair. It's
We'll
gonna
see.
be like all over my lips.
So we'll see on that. Go ahead and make a dex save. So use the number in the bonus box.
Maybe one now?
Instead of using,
A dex save as in my saving throw?
yeah, the dexterity saving throw bonus versus the
19.
19. So, good news. You expected wholeheartedly diving into this thing, and you made an effort for the butter sandwich face. You really did. Guess what, though? You didn't get as much as you expected on your fur. Actually, you got considerably less on your fur and yourself than you thought you did. It's mostly confined to your paws and just around your muscles.
Damn.
On the other hand, as you stand up, as you sit there and you take that last bite, a chunk of butter squirts out the back and drops directly onto your crotch.
Yeah. Happy times.
How am I not the loose screw today?
Well, I mean, judging by my vat of butter, it must be mating season.
You have no clue what the hell happened to Wisp in the middle of the night? You sat
I'm
down
gonna
to
go fight a
breakfast.
dragon. I'll be back.
I think I was drugged.
No, you weren't drugged. You were just scared shitless because you watched somebody go. People equals food is not something you were prepared for at 4 o'clock, at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Have you told them any of that?
What?
Any of what you saw?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I told Bird.
I was not surprised because I've been through the portal.
True. And
I mean, to be fair, like, just because I think that eating anything and everything that's meat source is cool doesn't mean that, you know, it's okay for the dragon to do it. That's my food supply.
yes, that's right. To Wisp, you're a drumstick.
To be fair, to Wisp, everybody's a drumstick.
I'm taking Wisp's plate from under his food and hitting him with it. Leaving the food in place. I am not trying to steal the cat's food.
Okay. Roll the hit.
What are you doing knocking straight? That's a 16 with my +4 or just flat?
With your strength bonus.
Or wait, no, that's the wrong character sheet.
You're not proficient, it's an improvised weapon, but you do get your strength bonus
That's a
because you're.
21.
How's your armor class looking these days?
My AC is 17.
Oh, that hits. Roll 1d8 for splatter.
1d8 for splatter.
I'm not. You're not trying to hurt him, are you?
No, I'm trying to
Didn't
knock
think
him.
so.
I'm knocking the sense back into him. That's a 6.
All right. So Wisp, as you're sitting here, kind of losing your feeble mind in some ways, out of nowhere, the bird with the quickness that you have never seen them move with before grabs your plate, flips it around, and the inertia holds everything on it as you laugh and open to say your next words, and it is shoved directly into your mush. And now all you have is from pancake, sausage, and bacon just kind of being molted in there.
I'm just holding it there.
I'm gonna look like a virgin doing his first motorboat.
That'd be Constitution to see whether or not he chokes.
Yeah. That would be close.
Thank you. Go ahead and roll a Constitution check, please. Sorry.
Oh yeah! 23.
I was only gonna set it at a 10 because you really like the food and it has all that butter, which is just gonna make it slide down easier.
Yep.
Frosting.
So, as you manage somehow to scarf the majority of it, by the way, you are definitely wearing it now.
Hell yeah!
Definitely wearing it.
But the majority of it did get in you.
Yeah.
I return to trying to neatly eat my food.
It tastes oddly of root beer and some sort of strange, well, what you would know to be the chocolate flavor, which is its own thing.
Yep. I'm picking up my sausage one link at a time. I need to stop by the smith.
Oh.
I do. I believe I should have a brand new beak.
Oh yeah. You do need to go there. So do I, but I can't remember what for.
You ordered a new weapon. You took the claws you had from the salamander and wanted them turned into daggers.
Oh yeah.
You should have a set of 4.
Oh yeah.
I took notes.
Yeah, I know.
What do I want the daggers for?
Stabbing.
Oh, that's obvious. No, there was another reason. Yeah, I'll join you.
Alright.
We'll go to the blacksmith so you can get your bacon. I can get my daggers.
Oh, and you should be finishing up your leather coated scale that no longer gives you disadvantage on stealth when you're wearing it.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
already
Yeah,
finished
that's
his
already
leather
been
set. He
finished.
already finished his scale.
Yeah, my lighted.
The daggers are going to
silent
take a
scale.
while because the claws have to be processed into something that is capable of being.
Okay.
That takes time.
Yeah, I get
Effort.
that. Having worked with animal parts, yeah, it does.
So meanwhile, while we're talking about the whole blacksmith thing, the whole time Wisp is going to be sitting here like, daggers? Why did I want daggers? I don't remember. Why can't I remember?
You all can go ahead and take that as a point to roleplay your happy little selves down the street. It's about a 5-minute walk, and I need more to drink.
You came in just after I was finished ordering my beak, and I'm pretty sure you wanted them just for the niceness of the material.
Maybe.
I didn't stick around long enough to hear your reason for ordering them, but...
I don't know.
Well, do with them?
I don't know. Well, I don't remember why I wrote that. So in real life, boys and girls, take notes, because I have no idea why my character would want or need daggers. Every time he has something, there's a specific reason behind it. I just don't.
Well, they were made from frost salamanders' claws, and
That could be a big part of it.
I mean, it's a possibility. It could have been like an elemental kind of deal, and maybe Wisp was going for the elemental aspects. I just don't remember.
Now you ordered those, a cloak.
Yeah, the cloak I already have. The top hat I already have. The silent scale mail I have. I just don't get what I would do with the daggers though.
You wanted daggers made out of something that wasn't a precious metal, so that Herbie wouldn't eat it.
That's a possibility. Oh, well.
Because you had gone to the pet shop. You had gone to the pet shop, and the pet shop owner had told you that if you had anything out of silver or platinum or any other type of precious metal, that Herbie was very likely to eat it.
Yeah, I remember that. Maybe?
Yeah.
Oil most things that burn and precious metals.
Oh, and I was also gonna have the blacksmith make a set of clawed gloves for me with the
Material from
material,
that giant
yeah.
claw.
Yeah.
huge, actually.
Yeah.
I was gonna have him make me like a set of climbing claws.
Yep.
Okay, so 4 daggers and like piton claws, right?
Yep.
Basically, yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like, Wisp already is fully capable of climbing and very good at it, but a little extra doesn't hurt, especially on surfaces that are smooth like ice. It's a little hard to get my claws in.
That's very true. Also, stone is not your friend.
Yeah.
Much better. Thank you, guys. Alright, so, as you arrive, you hear all kinds of cussing and fuming, and you watch as a katana goes, a single-edged sword that you would recognize as a katana goes flying out the door and sticks in the blacksmith's house as she seems to be swearing and cursing the dragon in 7 different languages. To include Tabaxi.
Alright. I think I'm gonna, like, approach her.
And Arakakra.
I think I'm gonna approach her and be like, is everything okay? Keep in mind, she's probably gonna laugh because I got still got.
Keep in mind that
pancake butter.
this woman is a fire genasi from everything you can tell.
Yeah, but I still have pancake butter on me.
Yeah, a flammable wood.
It's gonna look funny as shit. Just saying.
She turns holding a sword with a strangely blue blade and looks like she was about to let go and then recognizes you. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't hit you with anything, did I?
No, I'm okay.
Stupid fucking dragon. You watch this blade go flying into the kiln, into her smelter to be turned into an ingot.
Dragon caused you problems too.
Takes another dagger. Every stupid one of these fucking pieces of metal is one more person that it took. And then you watch a great sword, easily your height, get slowly fed into the smelter. The metal looks different. She has different smelting pots set up. This one seemed very, very lightweight. She's hefting it with one hand. Very shiny, light-colored metal. Anybody have any knowledge of blacksmithing or metallurgy?
Kalora does not have. Nope. I do, but Kalora doesn't.
I have some knowledge of metallurgy.
Through Arcana, you could probably pull it off.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check Arcana, or go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me, Liz.
Huh? Arcana?
Yep.
Okay. You said roll, so I'm rolling. I got a 29.
You definitely would recognize that to be a mithril sword.
Okay.
A great sword, your height, made out of mithril, so it probably weighs about half what it normally would, is twice as hard as steel. Mechanically speaking, it gets a +1 bonus for being mithril.
Okay.
And she's just melting this thing. It's an expensive piece, which means obviously this was not just the poor who were affected.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask her, hey, what did the mithril sword ever do to you?
It reminded me of the person who was going to buy it.
What were they paying for it?
My weight in gold.
What do you weigh?
The lady never tells.
Well, I'm pretty sure I have the gold. However, I don't need a mithril blade.
No, yours is far better.
I hope you don't mind maybe giving you a couple platinum for the time you put in on these.
I do. I just re-smelt them so that they're balanced for the right person, and I'll sell them to the next poor fool who wants to die.
Alright, well, I intend on going through that portal, so how about 2 platinum to fit me up something that might help?
What's on the other side of what portal?
I'm going after the dragon. I do intend on asking for help first, but I'm going after the dragon.
Now, let me just be clear with you all. I swing a hammer. I make things of metal. I make very nice things out of metal. Sometimes the materials give them properties, if I'm lucky. And I happen to get the right materials. I don't know what to do about dragon.
Well, I have a whip and a bent longsword.
It's a cool whip.
Now, I know my whip is a good whip because you made it.
Yeah. It is.
My longsword is bent and I have a whip.
Well, I could give you a new longsword, but I can't. It's nothing special. It's a longsword.
Well, what kind of longsword could I get you to give me for 2 platinum?
Any longsword you find on the shelf? Matter of fact, you can take 4.
Perfect. There you go.
They're in a variety of metals. You find them in. Some of them are in what you would know. They've been forged. They're steel, but they've been forged in the more Celtic style and cooled in peat.
Mm-hmm.
So the metal is blue.
Do any of them give off heat?
No.
I'm gonna pick the 4 prettiest. The ones that make me smile.
They're steel long swords, different styles of blade. hilt. It's still a long sword. It's a double-edged blade, approximately 3.5 feet long, attached to a single double-handed hilt. 1.5 hands.
I'm attaching them to my hip.
All 4.
Awful. I plan on putting some away in case I survive.
I mean, for a bird, they're like daggers.
Not long swords. But
I'm quite tall,
Right.
but they'd still be hanging down like straps on a kilt.
yeah, you have basically 4 independent straps on a kilt.
No.
Or a bandolier that is way too overstuffed.
Yep. I intend on putting some of them away.
They're just
I also give her the bent long sword.
masterwork steel swords.
Yep, I give her the bent long sword. Like, here.
And she looks over at you and says, oh, yes, so how's that armor working out for you?
It's actually working out pretty good.
Well, that's good to hear.
Herbie likes the trapdoor.
Fair enough.
But that's on my hat.
Well, you know, the little things in life, right?
Right? And the armor actually is very quiet. I like the way I like the way the scales fit into the leather. It's also got really good maneuverability. It's very durable.
That's good.
And when I fart, it doesn't sound like wind chimes.
If you farted, my dear lad, and it smelled like wind chimes, you'd have a
No,
lot
no,
more
no.
problems than
Not
that.
smell like, sound like. In my old armor, when I farted, you would hear ding 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 ding. In this armor, and all you hear is
Looks over at you. Is he serious?
About that beak.
Oh, yes. You know it's going to hurt attaching it, right?
I'm very aware of it. I've had lesser creations fixed to my face.
Takes the beak, it's all cooled, and actually, from now on, your beak will do 1d4 bite damage.
Yes!
The catch is, and here's where the payment's going, you are at full hit points from a long rest at this exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
So she looks at you and says, so what I need you to do is I fashioned this thing that'll make it so that I can do this. I need you to open your mouth and put this anvil with a pad on the bottom of it in your mouth.
Alright.
Perfect. Now, I need you to put the bottom of your jaw on this cushion on my other anvil.
Alright. Follow suit, and it's like,
She proceeds to go over and she sets the beak over top of it, and it hangs where your beak should and doesn't anymore, and seems to have reinforced. And they say, now this is the part that's going to suck. And she takes a 10-pound Smith's sledge and a hot rivet out of the fucking fire. And the next thing you hear, Wisp, is a ping, the smell of burning bone, the sizzle of her beak burning, the metal curling itself on the underside with one fail swing, as this rivet basically turns into it rivets itself and puts the mushroom on the back end of it from the anvil. And she looks down at you after the first one and goes, are you alright, dear?
fine. Wrapping my hands and wings around the anvil.
Good news is
I'm
that
not
each
moving.
rivet is 1d4 damage. Well, 1d4 piercing damage and 1d6 fire damage, actually.
That's fine.
And we're going to use the flashy ones because... So, you take 4 damage on the first rivet being applied.
Okay.
It was a hot rivet. You notice that there are 6 holes on this attachment, Wisp.
Alright. So I think at this point I'm gonna sniff the air and be like, is it lunchtime already?
Yes.
And then comes the second rivet
Okay.
with a loud ping noise as it reverberates through your it reverberates and vibrates through your head. This time, the second one, how are you holding up? You take 1 piercing, and so 7 points as the next one hits a nerve cluster inside of your beak on a thicker point.
I go cross-eyed, but I am holding fast.
Reaches over, wipes the sweat off of your brow.
You can almost see the nostril flares in where my beak meets my face. It's trying to flare.
4 more, dear.
Get it done.
The next one comes in. It's the one right at the crest central point.
Uh-huh.
8 points of damage, 3 and 5.
Another cross-eyed moment. Just fun.
And about this time, well, actually at number 6. We're at 3 rivets now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rivet number 4. Ouch.
Ouch. Ouch.
9 points of damage.
Okay.
And a little bit of a fire comes out of the hole from this one, and you can see it in front of your eye.
Eyes narrow, but I am like really bearing down with all my strength. on
You're
this
kind of in
handle.
shock.
Yeah, I'm still holding as tight as I can to this handle because I'm really trying hard not to move and fuck it up. I feel at this point moving a little can't fuck it up because it's already too well in a good place, but I'm not trying to move.
You okay?
Never been better.
All right. 5 damage on the next one. This one seems to go through and have found a somewhat soft spot. It is formed to your beak, but your beak broke in an odd way.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, you're kind of just sitting here. Yeah. And now, with number 6. Two damage as the last one pings in. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at a difficulty of 25.
35. There we go. Constitution saving throw?
25 or better to win. What you got?
24.
Perfect. So, Ronan, about this time, at roughly around 8:30, as you were just having your tea delivered to your tent, ringing out through the entirety of Evermist, you hear something between the guttural primal scream of a creature dying and Calora echo through the entire city to such a degree of volume, magnitude, and clarity that you can verify that she is definitely at the blacksmith's shop. And you, Calora, with the last one in place, scream at the top of your lungs for approximately 2 minutes straight. Wisp, go ahead and do me a great big favor because you are a cat and you have very sensitive hearing as a result. I need you to go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw. Did you cover your ears?
Woo!
I did take a
22.
nice deep
You're
breath.
good.
I did take a nice long deep.
You've watched her inhale after that was let loose, and you can see the beveled edge on this beak where it's been sharpened as it glistens, and your paws are clamped tightly over your ears, and you can still hear her as if she was screaming in your face. And you can see the smoke rolling out of her mouth as the rivets cool on the inside of the roof of her mouth.
Got my beak fixed!
I think at this point I'm gonna look over at them and be like, Are those tears of joy?
You actually could hear Wisp over top of it. I mean, you guys are, your camp, where you would be is probably about a block and a half away.
Okay.
And what are you doing?
Crazy Bird's at it again. And then I just kind of stroll around town and find my way towards the blacksmith shop to make sure they're okay.
Stand up, kind of.
As you get there, you can see that there's a metal prosthetic attached to Kalora's face where the tip of their beak used to be now. It looks sharpened.
I'm going to have to learn how to preen carefully.
You can give haircuts with that bitch.
Uh-huh. So you just see me like lean into my wing with it to try to like carefully pull out some of my more tattered feathers. Just a little bit of gentle preening.
Roll dexterity.
With advantage because this is something I do fairly often and I know how to preen myself at least normally.
With your normal beak, not a metal beak.
That was a request.
I'm torn. So we're gonna leave it up to chance. Do you want odds or evens?
Evens.
Okay.
It is a 2.
2.
If I throw it like that, it's pretty much a given that I couldn't have set it up. So, can you have my flashy thing up? So, yeah, you manage to. Some of those feathers you're really glad aren't flight feathers. You did shave a little bit down to the pins.
I was just going like right here. That furry bit.
Yeah, well, your pits are shaved.
Oh.
Which looks really weird because the rest of you's covered in feathers.
Uh-huh. Alright, gonna have to learn how to preen.
I'm gonna ask about my daggers and climbing rope.
Well, she walks over, grabs out a set of the climbing glove, or grabs a set of gloves out, and they have what looks like a strap piece.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm not quite there. I need to make it so that when you flex your hand, the spikes come out. Otherwise, you just couldn't use your hands as easily.
That sounds awesome.
It's going to take me about a week or so to work it out. I mean, that's some complex stuff right there.
What about the daggers?
Do you have any idea how hard it is to fit a beak to an Arakocra's face without them standing right in front of you?
Do you need more time? Got it.
Thank you.
When's lunch?
I don't know, whenever you decide to go eat lunch.
Want some lunch?
No. I had a very large breakfast. There was so much sausage and bacon this morning. The children really like hunting lately. I need to make more arrows. Oh god, so
I had
many
a double
arrows.
stack pancake sandwich.
Interesting.
With extra frosting.
So, is this the blacksmith that you're talking
Yes.
to? Okay.
So you would be walking in the middle of this conversation going down, seeing Calorica with a new bladed beak and smoke rising off of the rivet holes as the rivets are still slowly cooling. That's going to hurt for about 2 hours.
I figured.
So I walk in and I introduce myself to the blacksmith. Hi, my name is Ronan. I am the kind of in charge of the refugees.
Oh, so you're the reason for the excess meat then. Cool. How many of your people are munched?
Oh no.
Not a lot.
Wait, no.
Have you been to the portal today?
No.
Oh.
I think about this time, like, Lisa's gonna speak up and be like, so,
Tell him.
last night when I was up in the tree by the tent, I noticed that the portal opened up a little bit bigger, and these two really long claws came out, looking like chopsticks, and grabbed people, and were pulling them in and crunching down on their bloody popsicle bits. So I ran to the closest place I could think of, which was Viridia's. Ran to Viridia's, told Viridia. Viridia insisted that we go to bed and take care of it in the morning. So we went to bed. I woke up. Viridia was nowhere to be found. Her backpack was gone. Her bag was gone. A lot of her supplies were gone. And there was tracks leading out of the house. And instead of following the tracks or tracking her, I figured it was more important to come and tell you guys about these, bloody popsicles that were being eaten.
Yeah, I think we need to go investigate that. But while I'm here at the blacksmith, and I kind of show him my little automatic dagger that I have on my wrist, is there any way you can improve on this?
She looks at that. Looks at you. Not off the top of my head. If you leave it with me, I might be able to figure something out.
Okay.
You only have one.
That's why I'm trusting you.
I'm reminding you out of character. You only have one. And it took a lot to build it, so if it gets broken, dismantled, okay.
I know how to build it again. I could always rebuild it if it gets too messed up, but I just want to see if there's any way they can improve upon it.
Alright. So she takes it. This will take some time. I've got his daggers and a few other things, but if you leave it with me, this looks interesting enough that I can make myself focus on it in my free time and not be overworked.
I appreciate that. Thank you. How much will it cost?
The rights to reproduce your work with my improvements.
Give me 25% of whatever you sell on that also, and you got a deal.
Why?
Because I did invent it, I do have the rights as of this moment.
Really? Do you have a lawyer?
Yes. I always have connections.
Prove it. I don't
Alright.
believe you.
Roll persuasion. I hope your dice like you.
11.
17.
Fuck.
11 plus 6 on her insight check.
9 plus 2. Because I'm not proficient in perception.
Persuasion.
Or persuasion. Perception I'm proficient. Persuasion I'm not.
It's useful.
Yeah, I know I need to upgrade that when I can.
Good call.
Can I roll this persuade her to give him at least 20%?
If you can make a viable argument, sure.
It's a conversational part I hate.
Right?
How about if you take and do 20%?
Still, why?
Well, I mean,
Because you wouldn't have anything without my initial plans. You wouldn't be even having that money to begin with, so it's only fair that you give me at least a quarter of it.
I mean, to be fair, I could steal it and she could repurpose it and reuse it and, just to be honest.
Here,
I'm not going to.
how much
I'm
would
telling
this
you
kind of
I could.
contraption cost him if you were to invent it yourself?
Well, she extends the blade and everything, holding onto it, not attached or anything like that, sees how the trigger mechanism is. So it's actually decent work. Forging, shaping all the cubes. Could have done better in a couple of places, but not the shoddiest craftsmanship I've ever seen. I could sell this for 15 gold. If I improve on it and rune scribe the blades and things, though, I'll make easily 250 gold. So why would I pay him 20%? I can do math.
Well, technically, he's only entitled to, if I'm right. I'm not a smart bird, but this is something I would know. He would only be entitled to 15% of what he would earn from his work.
But you see, that's the thing. He said 20% of the total.
It's a 25.
25% of the total. He said 20% of the total. Now you're saying 15. You keep changing your numbers. Apparently, you should be happy if I'm just willing to give you credit so that people ask you to invent things in the future the way this sounds.
Yeah, that took me about a month to finish up, maybe a little longer, and I was a young rogue at the time.
When I was a young rogue.
So just imagine if I put my time and expertise into it now. I could improve it myself, but I'm...
The imagination station is closed, and if wishes were fishes, all men would eat like kings.
And fact is, you didn't work on it now. So that is the work of your younger, less experienced self, worth about 15 gold as is. How many of these do you think you're going to make in your lifetime?
It depends on who I talk to about them and market them to. You see, I said that I was asking for the right to reproduce. I'm covering all of the marketing, finding the clientele to buy it, improving it with my own runic inscriptions, enchanting it with the same set inscriptions, and then reselling
Would
it.
you be okay with discounts?
So what he's asking me is to take 15 gold worth of work, put 250 gold worth of labor, time, effort, and enchantments of one form or another into it, and then to pay him, well, 50 gold for 15 gold worth of work. So the answer is no.
Yeah, no. That's completely unreasonable. How about this? We'll strike a final bargain if he gets 15 gold from every sale. He gets his work's worth.
And 10% on the ones that I make regularly. At this point, she said, I'll be right back. She goes back into what looks like an office. As you open it, you see desks, cabinets, paperwork, books, ledgers, and a podium that she goes in and grabs a book off of and opens to a blank page. This is my book of contracts. And proceeds to write out in very legible common. Who here cannot read? You have an intelligence of 10. You can read.
It's 9.
Just
but
not big words.
I can read not big words.
You can read most words, just not really technical ones. Quasi-facetious would be outside of your vocabulary, but a dyke would not. Comes back. So, she writes out all of everything that you just heard negotiated. So I need you to look this over, and is this contract satisfactory?
You get the value of your work plus 10% on the normal ones.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking it over.
And I expect you to write that on your character sheet somewhere as a bond of sorts.
Okay.
Because if you don't, then she might forget to pay you.
What about a 10% discount?
Oh no, that's not getting negotiated into this. I'm not getting him 10% off of everything in my shop. He wants money.
I meant for me, 10% for me.
Why?
Because someone could pay in customer.
Well, then why would I want to lower your prices? Because you're willing and capable of paying what I'm already charging you, because I'm not fleecing you like a bitch.
Because I always pay you with interest.
You pay me with interesting things. That is not the same as interest, dear sir.
I also advertise your work.
Only because nobody else could work with the interesting things that you bring me.
That may be true.
After I'm done looking at the contract, I hand it back, and what you see is a little signature on the bottom that says Ronin the Rogue.
Well, that's all well and good, but I need one more thing, and she signs her name as well. And then she proceeds to grab hold of your wrist with a blacksmith's grip.
Just go with it.
And she proceeds to take her dagger, stab your thumb about a quarter-inch deep.
It's a blood contract right now.
And then slam it, and then presses it next to your name. Bites her own and does the same. You notice a sulfur smell as she starts to bleed.
Her biting her thumb is kind of sexy. Sad.
Out loud or out of character?
Out loud.
She walks over, reaches out a very warm, overly warm Irish nostril hand and caresses your cheek and goes, "You're not big enough to make me purr, honey," and walks off.
Woo! And I'm gonna reply with, "That's okay. You'll fall in love and I'll fall asleep."
All the better to cook you with, dear cat.
Well, at least I know I'd have food.
At least I know I'd be eating pussy again.
The quips today.
I have one of those. It's more like a wake up one. I have one of those.
I mean, to be fair, it is, you know, kind of mating season. I mean, look at my crotch. It's not just butter.
You're right, it's also syrup, and pancake, and sausage grease. And why didn't you throw him in a tub before you came in here? Oh, never mind. And she reaches out to grab hold of you.
Why didn't she roll for investigation? How does she know what all I have on my crotch?
Because you smell like a stack of pancakes and there's bits of crumb hanging in the butter.
I mean, that's kind of true. My face is a little covered in it, but I mean, you know, it just means I'm a well-lubricated machine.
She does manage to grab a hold of you. You do get a contested strength check as to whether or not she can pick you up and throw you into a bathtub. Well, not a bathtub. Into the quenching pool for her smelting.
So it's a strength saving throw?
Yep.
I got a 19.
Meets it. She tries to hoist you, and you manage to slip away, probably from the butter on your collar, at the last second. I have work to do. Get your circus out of my shop before I decide to throw the blades to those daggers that I'm working on for you at you before I have a chance to get them properly shaped.
But my circus is our circus.
Wisp, butter is flammable.
Fair point. Alright, time to go.
And as you're leaving, you hear, "And take a bath before you come back."
I don't wanna.
Butter is flammable. It stays flammable as long as you wear it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, you know, Wisp does not want to be caught on fire, considering the factor that literally from his mouth down across the front of his armor, all the way across his crotch is covered in a combination of pancake crumbs, food grease,
Sticky
butter,
incendiary
sticky,
bits.
right, sticky incendiary bits. At this point, I'm kind of got napalm from like my muzzle to my balls.
At least it's
Like,
organic napalm.
right? But it's still not a good plan. So yeah, it's time to go.
Alright, so as you all step out into the street, What do you do?
Ronan,
I'd say we
I'm
go
going
check.
after the dragon.
I think we need to do a little more investigating first, like where Viridia might have gone or what's going on with the portal before we just jump in and die. It eats things like us for breakfast, literally.
Well, apparently it's too cowardly to eat them while they're actually fighting. It has to freeze them first.
Your point?
Clara also has a bit of a crush on the blacksmith, and seeing her upset has upset Clara.
So I think we need to do a little more investigating before we just jump into it, or maybe get a few more people to help or something. I mean, 3 of us versus a big ass dragon. I don't think we're gonna fend well.
Bigger beasts have been bested by fewer. That was a lot to say.
Well, you gotta say it again. That wasn't very loud.
Bigger beasts have been bested by fewer.
Well, and by the way, where are you all having this conversation? Where are you heading? Are you just standing outside the blacksmith's shop?
I am walking towards somewhere to get some healing because I took almost half of my hit points and damage getting my beak fixed.
All right, so Kalora has started wandering off. What are the 2 of you doing?
Trying to figure out where we're gonna go investigate, because I think we need to figure out why Viridia left. Or see if there's. You said you didn't see anything. There's no note or anything.
No, there was no note or anything. All of her belongings were gone. She even left her dirty laundry. I sniffed the house. Everything was in order. She took her, basically anything she would need for an adventure, including her adventure bag, with her.
Well, you know, she wasn't the biggest fan of her adventuring.
And she left shortly after I fell asleep because her tracks were covered with snow. Like I said, I could track them, but that's only because that's what I do.
It's also been about
At that
3
time.
hours. Those tracks are probably covered over right within about 100 yards of the woods at this point, or 100 yards into the wilderness. You would know that by instinct.
Yeah. I doubt if I could track it now. It would be a long shot.
So you want to go investigate the portal more and maybe try to figure out what we're up against for sure, instead of just jumping in.
Well, I think investigating the portal is kind of pointless at this point. We already know there's a big ass dragon on the other side, and that the portal is going to stay open until something's done about said dragon. Is there is there anything? Oh yes, there's that giant egg. I wonder if that egg could possibly be why it's got the portal open. Maybe it's its egg.
Possibly. Maybe it just wants the kid back. Or you could try getting the egg back through the portal and seeing if that helps.
Maybe.
I mean, it's worth a shot. So where is that egg?
I believe it is. I think the last person that had it was
Aspen.
Aspen.
Anybody heard from her today?
Nobody has seen Aspen in about a week.
Yeah, nobody usually hears from Aspen in a while. Normally Aspen just kind of loves and goofs.
Aspen's been gone for quite some time at this point.
So I'm gonna go search Aspen's old room and see if they left the egg.
Okay, you're going to go up to. You're heading back to the tavern. Are you all going with him? Well, you could find a healer relatively easily. You also would have the healing potions to actually just heal yourself.
And I used them in the last battle.
Oh yeah.
I went tank mode and got hit a bunch of times and had to kill myself.
I have 4.
I quite enjoy a couple of healing potions if you don't mind. These are greater healing potions, yeah?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna pass you 2 of my healing potions. They do
1d12?
No. What was it? I've got it written out. It's 2d6.
2d6.
Much
Yeah,
better than
basically.
1d12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 to 12 is better than 1 to 12.
Yeah.
Barely.
So how many are you hitting?
2 of them.
Alright, so 6. And that's a 5. What is it? Why is there wax on my dice?
Wax on. Wax off.
There it is. Clean. Nope. That was a 5 and a 6. So 6
11.
and 11. So 17. Well, I'm a little less beat to absolute dog snot.
Well, you did just have something riveted to your face. That's going to cause pain.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of pain. Alright, so at relatively better hit points, now where are you guys headed?
To Aspen's old room to see if they left the egg.
Alright. So, as you get to the outside of Aspen's room, it Wisp, Aspen's room smells like something died in there.
Alright.
Like, it smells quite like a dead body.
Alright.
You would notice that because of your sense of smell immediately, probably within about 50 feet of the room.
I'm gonna try and investigate the smell at the same time looking for it.
It smells like corpse. You all are still outside the room. Nobody's managed to unlock it yet.
Okay.
There's only one person who had the key.
Yeah, I'm just going for the door.
It's locked.
Ice tent style.
Roll the hit.
Oh, that's your fault. That is a 16.
Okay. Roll for damage.
That would be. Do I get both of my fists?
Yep.
Okay, that would be 12 bludgeoning.
Your hands hurt. The door cracks. You hear it crack and bow under the under her force. Does not open.
Is not an ice tent. I hit it again.
Roll the hit.
That is a 15.
Yep.
Nope.
So I'm gonna bust out my
Okay,
lock picking
how
kit
does
out
it-
of
how
my
does it- how does-
thieves
how does-
tool.
how does a door have an AC higher than 15?
Reinforced iron bars. It's a reinforced wooden door.
So I'm gonna bust out my thieves tools and bust out my lock picking kit and pick the lock.
Okay.
Gotta love the
You want to
sponsor.
try and pick the lock? I need to do something real quick because this will determine the difficulty because somebody's been bashing into this door enough to damage it. It's reinforced. It's not indamageable.
I've only got one way to do things.
Okay, so you're going to be
I
rolling
hit
sleight of
them.
hand. You can add your proficiency bonus because you are proficient with thieves' tools. It's dexterity plus proficiency.
So it'd be that's a 20.
Yep.
$12. Yeah. I got a 5.
Yeah, but you get a +7 bonus to it naturally,
So-
so it's still not terrible. So you sit there and you can hear the tumblers clicking as Ronan gets down there and starts working on it. And for somebody who's got so much pomp and authority, never expected him to be that good with a lockpick. hear a click and a click, and then you try to hit that last tumbler, and you hear something snap inside the lock. Not your picks, but something in the lock broke with the last thing you did. And it makes a very loud, shrill, like, okay, you know, like the musical chimes an orchestra uses, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that really, really high ting noise on the very highest pitched one? It makes that sound inside this locking mechanism. You would know that is not good.
You could have gotten us in if you didn't bash the door half to death.
How did I know you had thieves' tools? You look like a good person. I hit it again.
I am a rogue.
I don't know that. Natural
Doesn't-
20.
You, in a sheer fit of frustration, roll damage.
Alright. That is, well, that's still an unarmed strike, so it would be 12, so 24 bludgeoning.
As she says this, out of sheer frustration, you watch as Kalora's arm goes through this door, and it breaks, and as you go through it, you can reach down and unlock the door now. And you can feel the metal bars in between the slats of wood, it turns out, on this particular door. So, like, your arm barely fits as you reach down in and it pops. It's basically a very nice door. It was a very nice door.
Hitting it works too.
Yeah, but now you have to pay for it.
Well, that's fine.
Well, if you would have just let me be me, I could have had us in there in 30 seconds with no damage.
Who's to say you would have gotten us in there?
They don't really know my whole background, do they?
No, they don't.
And I'm not a smart bird. My insight's not going to be good. So all I know is your pomp and circumstance with a thieves' kit.
That's actually what they know about you.
I'm gonna give them general biz background. Let's just say when I was in Nox Vitalia, before the queen disappeared, I was one of her top spies. I was an assassin.
I could have
Sure.
got us in better.
Say what?
Oh, I was saying I could have got us in better.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, I could have picked the lock in better. Or I could have got us in quicker.
Punching it works too. I go in.
Yes.
Okay.
Dimension door. I could have easily just gone in the house.
You're not sure what you just walked into, Kalora. Aspen's been, best of what you can tell, grave robbing for a while.
But I also think I could have picked the door.
I'm not surprised
faster
by
than
this.
Roll Constitution. By the way, the smell has started wafting out of the room as the bird entered. You can see
19.
through the 19. You gag a little bit, it bubbles up in your throat, but you're alright. You can see what looks like an arm hanging.
Yeah.
She has, like, she has body parts hanging up over a crafting station, and it looks like she was stitching together a body. You suddenly understand why this room smells like death. There are discarded parts of dead bodies all over the room.
Typical for an
And then there's Aspen's bed, which is like straight out Barbie pink with a teddy bear on it. In the middle of this scene. You've got like the pretty girly dressing table and makeup table, nice little fire in a bath, really pretty, prissy type nice canopy bed with frills and lace in pink, and then body parts everywhere.
Necro Barbie.
Basically, yeah. And the body that was being stitched together was male. Only minus the anatomy, that seems to have been left completely flat.
So she was making her own kin.
Right. Anyways, I'm gonna look for the egg.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I wanna do an investigation and look around the room for the egg.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both rolling investigation, man. We're both rolling for investigation.
With these two much smarter individuals searching the room for me, I'm just going to let them know that I broke the door.
Dirty 20.
You find, in your investigation, I'll wait until I get Wisp's result back as well.
Investigation.
I got a 19.
Alright, so about the same, that works. You all have found the
So
same
my
thing.
investigation says.
I got dirty 20. I got 15 plus 5.
Alright, so, what you will end up with, you find a diamond ring, you find several, like 2 or 3 gold coins, a couple of coppers that were just obviously dropped in the process. What appears to be a man's pocket watch made out of silver. And no egg.
I wasn't expecting to find much. My roll was kind of tricky.
You both rolled pretty high, actually. It's on the 30-point scale of difficulty.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like, no, you see where the egg should have been. You can see the divot in the cushion that it was sitting on and the way that it was set up, but it's not there.
So, can I go over by the cushion and see if there's anything for me to track?
Sure, you can go over there, you can have the advantage from using your nose, and you can go ahead and make the perception check on that. Do keep in mind that there are the parts to at least 7 different dead bodies and different levels of decomposure in this room, so good luck tracking anything by scent.
That's about it.
So yes, you are more than welcome to try. You could very well roll 25, or you could roll a 27 or higher and I'd let you have it. But, and that would take everything in a completely different direction. But, nobody ever said that you guys had to save evermist.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
I say instead of TPKing ourselves in this freaking dragon fight, we just let the freaking evermist deal with itself. We're not in charge of this place.
Well, some people's moral quandaries might get in your way there. Out of character, just honestly. The characters themselves, not the players. The players could be down and not care.
Kalora would rather fight that dragon alone than leave these people to handle it.
That would be one of the moral quandaries we were coming into.
How dare you hit me all over my
Bong? Butt cheek?
butt? His dice fell and hit me in the butt.
Oh. So, do you want to make the try? It is possible, it's just damn near impossible.
I wonder if there's like a way we can get some villagers to go with us. I mean, it's their world we'd be fighting for.
You can certainly try. That is my favorite line anymore.
Good.
I'm not going to tell people no. I'm just going to tell them they can try.
Okay. I can try.
You can certainly try just about anything.
I'm going to stand very near to one of the larger fires. Probably the big one that was built in the center of the thawing circle.
You're not helping them investigate anymore? We'll get there then.
So we could try.
So,
What do you want to do? You want to fight this thing, or do you want to bounce?
Well, I just got a nat 20, so I'm guessing it's,
perception. Alright, in your somehow or another past the smells of dead bodies and everything else, you find the smell of body wash and flower fragranted soap. And you find Aspen's footprints leading out the door and a map that had been pretty much looks like it was dropped as she tripped going out the door
Okay.
in true Aspen fashion. That has an area in the middle of a desert some 800 miles from here circled. With a big question mark on it.
What is this crazy implements are up to?
I'm downstairs telling the bar. I'm currently downstairs telling the barkeep that I broke her door.
She looks at so. About this time, you also would also notice that Chlora is gone. They apparently wandered off. The smell of all that dead things was probably a little bit much for them. And Chlora, you make your way to the bar where Laura Leaf looks at you and says, "So, what do you need?"
I broke your door. The one
What door?
The one to the wizard's room. Aspen. I went up to it because we haven't seen her in a while and it smelled of rotting things.
What's
so-
your passive perception?
My passive perception is 13.
Okay, so you would notice that you can still smell Aspen's room from here at the bar over the drunks.
And I was more than a little concerned and
About this time, somebody throws up.
well, you could smell the bodies through the door and I figured I needed now on the other side of that door, not later.
Alright, is there a wizard in the house? Little guy walks up. What do you need, miss? I need somebody to go mend a door. About this, and about 5 minutes after that, the two of you see this little halfling come walking up with a rag over their face, and they're holding it very tight to them and breathing very deeply through the cloth for some reason. Your nose is dead right now. Sorry, but that much dead body in one room, you know.
Yeah.
So, I'm here to fix the door. Do you all need anything else out of there before I fix it?
Not unless you know where there's an egg in here.
No, I just feel bad for the poor bastard who's got to clean it.
Okay.
To help the rest of the inn, could you maybe make it airtight through the door so the smell doesn't leak out?
It's just a mending spell, I believe.
No,
Okay.
no. looks at you like, what kind of drugs are you on, dude? No. And just casts mending real quick and wanders back downstairs as the door reforms itself. Thank you.
I had been completely prepared to pay for the door.
No. Now, as he comes back, the poor guy's face is pale from what he saw on the other side of that door. He's not sure which one of you killed all those people. He's not sure how long those bodies have been there. But he's sitting there,
The necromancer you're worried about isn't here anymore.
walks up to the door. Oh, Miss Laureleaf, you're not going to like this. There's body parts all over. And you hear a shriek all the way from downstairs, the both of you. What do you mean it's full of body parts?
I had not gone upstairs. I was right there. I was explaining what happened to Laura Lee. It turns out our friend's a bit more of a necromancer than we thought. Well, has abandoned their quarters for more than a week.
3 more patrons start throwing up from the smell as it wafts through the basement. It's starting to get to your stomachs. And no egg.
I'm gonna dip outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce. I mean, if we can't find the egg, I know I've been around death a lot. It might feel the word, but damn.
I just don't like the stink.
It's the stink when they've been left out to sit for a couple of days that's really bad. And these ones have been sitting here for about a week. So, that being said, you all now find yourselves outside of the Cheerful Traveler. The proprietress was left crying behind the bar as she found out that room was full of body parts. Some of them aren't even human. The majority of them aren't even human. Apparently, Aspen was collecting things from all kinds of creatures, which rot at different paces. Interesting fact, that actually works like that. So, sitting outside in a death-stinking tavern, you find yourselves around a very large sitting area with a very expansive flat bed of coals that logs are thrown on periodically to keep it burning but not built up, if that makes sense. It seems the smell is less near the fires, like those molecules burn away. And where are you heading now? There's a dragon, there's refugees, there's a map. Who has the map? Wisp has the map. What are you going to do with that map?
That's where did we decide I had the map?
You're the one that found it.
It doesn't mean I picked it up.
So you just left the map?
Why would you just leave the map?
Alright, you're right. I did pick it up and put it in my pocket, alright? Damn. I mean, now it's kind of a crumbled piece of paper, but hey.
I found a pen in my journal, but I didn't
I want to see if I can roll a sleight of hand and see if I can steal the map from Wisp without him realizing.
First of all, roll stealth. You're trying to sneak up on him in jacket, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm right next to him.
Okay, so then yeah, go ahead and roll straight sleight of hand. Going for a specific object, right?
15. And I'm trying to steal the map.
Oh, it's on the map.
He said it was crumpled up in his pocket.
Okay, so it's a ball of paper about this big then, because it's a map. You don't notice, but it's gone.
What?
That would be a difficult.
There's no like roll that I can do to
Your passive perception.
passive perception. Something like that. I'm not even gonna feel a tickle on my nuts or anything. 'Cause,
Nope.
Like it's right there.
Nope.
Damn.
It's going to take you a minute to realize that that bulge where that map was crumpled up is no longer there. By the way, you now have a very large ball of parchment with a map on it. And it's much harder to stash one of those in this condition.
Ironically, Wisp just didn't care. That's why he crumbled it up and put it in his pocket. It was just one of those something for later.
And Wisp, kind of looking around for the map, I just pull it out and start looking at it. Like, you
No,
mean this
I didn't
map?
notice it was missing.
He wasn't even looking for it.
Oh, you weren't looking for it yet?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Nope. You sleight of handed it out of his pocket, so do you really want to pull that out and start looking
Nope.
at it?
I'm just gonna. I'll be back. I'm gonna use restroom. And I walk to the restroom and I kind of fold the map up properly while I'm in the restroom and stash it away in a little pouch that I have on the side of my hip.
So when he opens the map, am I gonna smell the rigor mortis?
No. Your nose has at this point acclimated to dead things.
Gotcha.
And so I kind of, and then as I do that, I kind of look at the map a little bit more detailed, see if there's any writing on it besides just the question mark, seeing if they left any other notes in the side of the map or anywhere on it.
Am I gonna hear him uncrumble the paper?
You went to the bathroom, right?
Yeah, and you
The
were
bathroom's
also-
in an outhouse.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice. Not to mention, if you opened it up in an outhouse, you wouldn't smell it anyway. It would be shit.
Right.
And I'm literally shitting while I'm doing this at the same time. Like, so all he hears is probably explosive diarrhea.
Nope, didn't even hear that. He's too far away to hear you. Him and Laura stayed at the front of the tavern while you wandered off to go find a restroom with that. So yeah, you would see as you open it up, you would find this to be a map of a desert of. I need you to go ahead and roll a history check. Personal history.
Plus 2. 5.
There's some part of you that thinks that this should be vaguely familiar as to where that is, but you're not sure why.
Okay. So I finished doing what I was my business, and I fold the map back up, and like I said, I stash it in this little pouch that's on the side of my hip,
Okay.
but it's on the inside of my cloak to where it's not seen.
Gotcha.
So I have it stashed in there, kind of folded up nice and neat, and I just go and join the rest of the group.
Alright, and with that, with the time being 6:20, we're going to take about a 10-15 minute bio break,
Sounds good.
and we'll be back.
I'm fat and I'm hungry. Need some food in a secret.
And we are back. And I am way too
Yay.
close to that mic for that shit. There we go. That should be better. Yep. Now it's at least going and registering halfway decently.
Yay!
And you don't have to yell because it'll spike red.
Yep.
Feedback sucks. So, could I get a reminder as to where the hell we were, please?
I was at the front of the tavern, and these two had gone off. I'm not sure where.
I just rejoined them after stealing the map.
Okay, so you have the map pocketed and pooed. Got it. Bun butt. Alright, so Ronan has returned. All of you are in front of the tavern. Aspen is to the wind. Viridia is to the wind. And the three of you stand there, knowing there's a portal with a very, very large, very, very cold dragon on the other side of it.
And it's hungry.
Not at the moment. It's eaten recently.
I'm going to the big bonfire where they're thawing out their loved ones.
You notice everyone has stopped thawing their loved ones. Turns out they're preserved pretty well right now. And very dead. You see places where people had been thawing their loved ones out, and a few of them from the heat differential, when they finally started to thaw, exploded. You ever seen an ice cube when you throw it in the oven? It goes crack and boom.
Mm-hmm.
Same principle. Like, and you notice everybody's hurriedly moving their relatives and loved ones away from the fires.
I'm going to stand real close to the fire. Get up on a high point.
Okay. You managed to find yourself a what looks like a stage off away from it, like across from it, maybe about 50 yards. You can still feel the heat off of the fire. It's a big fire. They were trying to thaw a lot of people until they started blowing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they start cracking and the body parts stay in the ice crystals, it's really just not cool, man.
But it was.
So cool. Like liquid nitrogen even.
I'm going to draw one of my swords. My mini swords.
Okay.
And set it tip first, like almost like a staff in front of me. And I'm going to try not to enunciate too loudly on this, for that. And speaking in a much more projected, loud, going for inspiring tone. People of Evermist, refugees from other lands. Over these last days, all of us were battered by an unnatural cold. I stand here watching you struggle and strive to thaw out or preserve your loved ones, wrapping them, singing to them, conversing with them. We know what did this to them. We know where that foul beast is, and we know how to reach it. I will gladly step through that portal alone, and maybe I'll succeed at leading it away for a while. I would plead with you, though, those of you with the ability, join us, fight with me, and let us best this monster and end this unholy winter once and for all. So I am really like, rah.
And as you start speaking, you notice a few people hear you, and it's a very well thought out speech. That being the case, I need you to go ahead and roll persuasion. We'll call it a generalized difficulty of about 18 because of what it is that's going on.
Natural 20.
And I get a check.
Nope. I'll roll it again if you want me to.
I
was literally trying to hand him my tray.
I saw that. We'll go with it. All right, so about a good. Yeah, I'll give you a percentile on that then. We'll call
I
it
was
the
more
balance.
than happy to hand him my tray and be like,
43. So a little less than half of the group seems to stop, and like you hear a murmur going through the crowd. Yeah, we do know what did this. We know why our loved ones are frozen. It's that ungodly portal in the middle of the refugee camp. It's their fault. They brought it here.
all the wisdom I've got left in my little bird brain. As easy as it might be to join in that sentiment, they were the first of its victims, and it appears as though this portal would have come with or without them.
We can't know that.
Without that portal, the thing on the other side would have had no idea what was on the other side.
You hear somebody from way in the back. You can't even make out a face. Well, what if it was just feeding its pets?
And it might have been. But we know how to get rid of it. We know how to close the door and end its stay in Evermist once and for all.
And how are you gonna do that, eh? Well, look at that. Its claws are as big as 4 men. It put a hole straight through you in just a poke.
If it can reach you. Big moves slow.
I need you to go ahead and roll insight on that one.
I'll put my dice tray over here now. Because I do nothing. That is a 16. And insight is not my best. The wrong character sheet again.
Don't do
Or
that.
definitely doesn't have a +5. Insight is just a straight 16.
You actually make it by 1. It was at a 15. So just make it. So at a 16, you come to the realization that it's weird. This dragon is weird. You don't know much about dragons.
No, I don't, but I know big things tend to move slow.
It occurs to you that this thing relatively quickly was plucking people out of that portal. Because there's about 15, 20 people missing.
Yeah, but how long did it take it to move its body to do that?
I don't know. Did anybody ask Wisp?
Comparatively to how fast I can move, my smaller than it.
I don't know. Did anybody ask Wisp how quickly it moves?
Did you happen to see its entire body move to reach it through the portal? This is the question I'm asking.
Its entire body? No. I saw its arm. Its arms are pretty fast.
Well then, I guess it looks like I'm going through this portal alone.
You hear the bird saying this, by the way.
The children in the tent have got Kalora all the way broken.
There aren't any children left in the
You said it
tent.
was a school tent.
Yes, there are no children left in the tent now.
Now. But there were when she went in and investigated.
There aren't any more.
Nope, Kalora is broken. No, if she goes alone, she will be simply attempting to get its attention and run. Definitely not gonna last stand the shit. knows she's gonna die if she goes in by herself, and is decidedly, I'm gonna die as far from this portal as I can get.
If you don't walk up to it, try to hit it, and it just bounces off.
You want to help Bird Brain?
If not, she's gonna die. I mean, I'm a cat, and I like birds. I like to eat them. But I'd rather I eat them and play with my food before I eat it than, a dragon do it.
Looks like it's gonna be a TPK tonight. If Ronan dies, I'm gonna be pissed.
Y'all have permission to jump ship if this fight goes sideways.
I have worked so hard on this character.
You have my full consent to let the bird brain go through the portal alone.
You're okay, you got stealth.
Yeah, but that doesn't work when I'm shooting crossbows at it.
I will not be mad, but I spent long and hard thinking about what Kalora would do with this dragon, and it's a... People are going to keep dying until this happens.
Let's go.
Yes.
You insist.
Kalora's got one mind, and it's not very smart.
On my mind is, they're adult. There's a lot of adults here. They can fend for themselves. They can either leave.
I would highly recommend that
Or
before
fight.
you make that jump, you all are prepared for a journey. This is completely out of character and in meta as a warning.
I'm giving you guys my full blessing to let me die.
But they've already flat told you they're not going to let you die alone like that. They're not going to let their homie commit suicide. There's at least a small chance if all three of you go. And I'm not trying to TPK you.
I would like a couple more healing potions if I could before I pull this off.
Yeah, I'm not even at my max, which I'm squishy. My max is only like 27 hit points unless I've leveled up somehow. But I don't think I have a lot.
You should be level 6.
Yeah, still don't know if that equates to more hit points or not.
Probably not.
So yeah,
The
27.
first one is 8 plus con, which I'm
Low.
Yeah, so I started with 9. And then I rolled for the rest.
And rolled low.
And I rolled low.
Ish.
So I got 27 hit points and I'm currently at 22! So one swipe from this motherfucker and I'm dead.
Are you at 22? I thought we had a rest.
Yeah, we all had a long rest. You should be at full hit points.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay,
should
that
be at
was
full.
from last game then.
Yeah, by the way, actually it'd be more like a...
That's what I'm saying, like, he could bitch slap me like a fly, and I'd
Yeah.
die.
Nope. Kalora has decided that if she can't fight it, she will try to lead it away.
Well, at least you're not a bard. If you can't fight it, you fuck it.
No, I'm not trying to reproduce with it.
So are we doing this?
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Right. Greatest bard in history. Seduce the dragon.
That's all you think of.
I genuinely will have no trouble with
That's why
setting
I'm
about the
double
final
checking
mission
the
of leading
list.
a giant beast
Sure,
away from its
list.
victims.
Well,
It is a grand way to exit.
so far,
Probably one of the best methods for one of my characters so far.
we have kind of been, all or nothing. So,
That's true.
We commit war crimes together. At least this way we might remediate some of that.
I mean, Ronan wasn't included in the war crimes, but yeah.
We did commit war crimes together and it was wonderful.
I made a guy eat poop.
I almost killed an innocent person because she wasn't talking. That's like the one thing that is like amplified regret was like, fuck, I'm a terrible person.
So before we do this, I know I have my crowbar and my hammer, which I could use as weapons. But all I have is my crossbows and my daggers. I'm on a sword.
You saying that out loud in character?
Yes.
Shink! 2 long swords.
Don't you need them?
Are longswords simple or martial?
Long swords, let's see. Long swords are martial and versatile.
Yes, but are you proficient with a longsword as a rogue?
If only there were a player's handbook,
Like the one by your feet?
like the one on
Like
my
the one
lap.
on your lap?
Well, I know the answer to that question,
Probably a no.
unless you're an elf. High elf to be exact.
Well, I wouldn't need a long sword. I don't care what kind of sword. I just want a sword that hits a little harder than a dagger.
But I have 4 of them!
But it doesn't matter if I don't know how to fucking use them. At least if I get a short sword or something later, I can work on it a little bit. It's more easily able to be wielded than a long sword. So I want to go back to the blacksmith and try to buy a sword.
I mean, I can offer you my hand axes, but we should definitely go back to the blacksmith. That I do agree with. We should go back to the blacksmith and be like, so the 3 of us are going through this portal, and we're going to attempt on this dragon.
Well, hold that thought. You'll get there. So you head back to the blacksmith's, correct?
Are you going with us?
Sure.
As she's... You hear more clashing, clanging, the sound of metal sizzling into different pots. And watch a short sword go flying out the door and break on a rock.
They overquenched it too brittle.
No,
Was
wasn't
just-
overquenched. Hit it directly on the tip while it was still warm.
Yeah.
Which means they
She's
got
just a
it too
brute.
hot when they quenched it.
No, she's just a brute.
Nah.
It's doable. I've seen them blow up like
Yeah,
that.
you can blow them up if they're overly hot. You don't even have to quench them. If it's hit directly on the tip, it'll cause it to
Yeah.
expand and shatter.
It's hard enough.
Yep.
Yeah. Was it red hot? Like that's just a lot of heat.
Well, it's the middle of the day, so you couldn't tell if it was red hot or not. But it is creating a great deal of steam in the snowbank where it landed. And there is metal shrapnel that seems to have caught the houses nearby on a minor fire that smolders out quickly.
Tin and aluminum.
Wisp, you are still covered in shit. Stay here.
It's not shit. It's food. I mean, I can lick it off if you want.
Are you doing this publicly?
Fine.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay, as Wisp actually sits down, starts licking himself, butter first, in the middle of a public area, and you watch as a little girl goes by, "Mommy, what's that cat man over there doing?" "Oh, look away, dear, look away."
I go in. Hoping that she heard me scold the cat.
For what?
You're covered in shit. Stay here. I barked it.
Okay. She... What now? I'm busy. And
We're-
she seems to be, like, lathing. She seems to have a, one of the claws hooked into a vise and seems to be filing it down with a wood plank.
We're going through the portal.
Right. And where's the squirrel that you nuts ran away from?
I'm gonna pull out all 210 of my copper, all 24 of my silver, and all 18 of my gold. Because I'm not expecting this to go well. Would you please suit us? Suit them with swords and shield. Every penny I have left.
You're dumb. Not sure what your problem is. You ought to know better after that long.
Oh, trust me, I don't want to do this. I say you guys to take care of yourselves. You can either fight, leave, or die. Your choice. I'm out, but I'm not letting my friend die alone.
I told him he could go by himself. I am fully aware that I'm not coming back from this adventure. Because either I'm going to spend the rest of my days running from a giant dragon, leading it away from here, or I'm gonna be dragon food. I get this. I know this is happening. I told them they don't have to come with me.
She walks off from around the forges, goes back into what looks like a little area with like a little stove and everything set up, grabs some salt, pepper, clove of garlic, starts slicing up the garlic really quick on her way back, pours it all over top of your head, says, well, at least now you're well seasoned.
Yeah, I'll take it. But if my friends insist on coming with me, I would like to see them properly suited as well.
What do you need?
Him,
I need a short sword that's easy to wield, high quality,
So you need a short sword.
and some sort of shield. And I have,
Do you know how to use a shield?
you
Do you have-
strap it to your arm and you hold it
Do
in
you
front
have
of you. There.
proficiency in shields?
No.
Then the answer is no.
But if you want one, I'm willing to pay for it.
Well, it's not hard to figure out how to use one enough to where I won't die.
Quickly.
At least not as quick.
Actually, it becomes a hindrance to use a shield if you don't know how.
Yeah.
Like I said, friends.
From a personal experience, I can tell you this honestly. Sword and boarding it, if you do not know how to use that shield, is... If you're trained as a rogue, you're trained to use that dagger and be quick on your feet. That shield is extra bulk and extra weight. that
What
you
about
have
the
to carry.
sword? The sword should be fine.
Short sword's fine.
No, I don't need a shield. I'm good on that. So, just a short sword.
Alright, and you?
I'm fine.
It's still going to be a few days on these daggers, you know that, right?
Yeah.
What do you need as weapon-wise then?
Got my weapons covered.
I mean, I've got a light crossbow, a hand crossbow, a heavy crossbow, 3 daggers, and now a short sword.
Yes, but the difference is that you're a rogue and your superpower is disappearing. He's a warlock, his superpower is superpowers.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I'm good at
This is the
disappearing,
difference between
but-
Batman and Superman, basically.
My superpower is punch.
Yeah, actually, your superpower is I can hit things more.
Uh-huh.
Actually, this is a big difference, you know. Hobo, Batman.
The fuck did you just call me?
I said it's a big difference between a hobo and Batman.
Batman doesn't use fucking magic. Fuck you.
True, he doesn't use magic.
I got gadgets, so I do
But a
Batman.
poor man doesn't have shit. Whereas I have everything.
I have weapons. I have gadgets and shit.
Okay, but I can stealth as well as you. I can pick pockets as well as you. Pick locks as well as you.
I'm just picturing a druid in my head that regularly druid shapes into a bat and attacks. Because I'm thinking in D&D terms, and Batman is just
So,
different.
if you can pickpocket as well as I can, let's just save that for a competition for later.
Okay. Anyways, so, I think if I'm going to get anything, I am going to... I've already got that. That's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Did any of the refugees respond?
I said about half of the people there responded. Well, slightly less than
Did any of the refugees respond?
I'm gonna ask if she has any armor for Herbie.
that. Armor for Herbie?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tap the hat. Herbie's gonna pop
Comes
up.
down, skitters out. It's on the table, turns around, looks up at you, and kind of cocks its head to the side, and you hear this weird squeaking noise.
Is that you're scared of?
Yeah. Yeah, never mind. He doesn't need any armor.
Does it say
Actually-
he's got an exoskeleton.
Could you supply him with some of the broken bits that you've been crashing and smashing around?
Actually, some of that mithril would be nice. Can I get a couple pieces of mithril?
Like, how much do you need?
Well, the more this thing eats, the bigger it gets.
Meh.
I would rather you give it your cheap steel.
Actually, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna pull out 10 platinum and lay 10 platinum on the counter and be like, whatever this can get me. Of your strap.
Where on the counter are you laying that 10 platinum?
Sorry.
Closest to her.
Okay, so as you lay down the platinum, Herbie goes skittering across the counter and starts, and like literally you watch his little mandibles go, and all 10 platinum are gone.
You just eat your money, bro. Literally.
Does he grow a little bit?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tap back on the hat and let Herbie come back into the hat, and then I'm gonna offer her another 10 platinum.
She's like, it's an expensive pet you got there.
Yeah, he tends to be that way.
What else is he eating?
Anything metal, lubricants. Typically, I give him, a thimble of bacon grease in the mornings.
Oh, that's a lubricant. I mean,
He likes incendiaries.
he likes incendiaries. Really then? I wonder.
Well,
Tap the hat, tap the hat, tap the hat. I wanted to see what she was cooking up.
all right, so I'm gonna tap the hat again.
I'm gonna hold out my hand as a gesture of please sit here and do not eat money.
This thing's about this big
Mm-hmm.
and mechanical, so it looks at your hand and looks at itself and just kind of sits looking at you strangely. She goes off, wanders away, comes back with a barrel about this big. About this big around.
Ooh.
It sloshes like it's full of liquid.
Ooh. Explodies.
Well, you could try giving him a shot glass of this.
I'm gonna hand her the thimble and let her give him the glass.
She looks at the thimble. It'll eat right through this. And she actually goes and gets a glass shot glass
Okay.
and scoops this. It's almost like a gelatin out of it. It's kind of a it's a translucent white. It's not transparent, but
Yeah.
light will somewhat pass through it.
Yeah.
Scoops it out, says, very, very gently sits it in front of him. He doesn't touch the glass, but he does eat the liquid. Natural one. And I need everybody within a 15-foot radius of Herbie to make a dex check.
Well, that would kind of like.
So it's all of us.
Does that make, yeah.
One of you might have been stepping back towards the wall.
That's a 19. And I'm not moving that way. Or
You're
is that an
fine.
18? That's an 18.
Either way. It's
So it's a
15.
dirty 20. Yay.
Dexterity saving?
Yeah.
Nope, nope, I'm not moving my dice board. It's
14.
staying right there.
Yeah.
18.
Yes. Difficulty was 15.
How much
So-
hit points did I lose?
Well, you take 2 points of burning damage as at first, and it just kind of looks interesting because it's kind of a pinkish purple cloud starts emanating from Kirby. And then, as the liquid continues to hit bottom, his chittering causes sparks in his mandibles, and he chitters happily because whatever it was, he really liked it. But the sparks cause that pinkish purple cloud around him to ignite, and You take 1 point of damage, you take 1 point of damage, and you take 2 points of damage because you failed the save.
So I took 4 total.
No.
No.
2 points of fire plus.
No, just the 2 points of fire.
Just 2 points, motherfucker, 2 points.
And Herbie then proceeds to settle down, and you'd almost swear that he looks redder.
Well, he liked that.
Just so you know,
So-
I gotta try to get out of here by evening.
So did I get the whole barrel?
Yeah.
Kill. Yeah, I'm gonna take the barrel.
Type it in, or put it in as barrel of strange flammable, barrel of flammable liquid, question mark.
Barrel of flammable gel.
Question mark. Not sure what gel is.
What else to say if we
Okay,
sit down?
flammable liquid. I always spell it with a G. Liquid.
At least you didn't spell it with an S, like squid.
Well, I mean, sometimes licking a squid would probably be cool, but you know, only in the D&D world. Might trip balls. Sad.
Or you could be dating a mind flare.
That's true too.
Then you would definitely lick squid.
So how big would you say this barrel is?
It's maybe weighs 4 pounds total. It's a 1 gallon barrel.
Alright. Because weight is important.
Yes, it is. Too much weight and one cannot move.
Being over encumbered sucks.
Ark teaches us this.
Especially when you're trying to run from dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Or dragons, or zombies,
I
or
need to
giant
play
bugs.
Do what?
I need to play now.
Yeah, you do.
Damn, we can grab my Xbox and take it out.
See, she rolled her eyes.
You know what?
She's
I play on Xbox too.
No, I'm not.
Huh?
I play on Xbox too. We could totally play together.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm playing it through is my Xbox account.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that the 1S is mine?
What?
Is it safe to say that the 1S is mine?
I got the Series X. It's way better than the 1S.
Well, maybe you just want something white like me.
Anyway, let's stop that advertising for Mark Rip.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag derailed.
Hashtag FYPM.
Where'd my squirrel go?
Exactly. So, with all of this done at the blacksmith's department, where are you guys headed?
I'm going towards the tent.
Towards the tent and the
What
portal.
time is it?
About noon.
I say we get some lunch first. No, you don't want to go into a fight on a half-empty stomach.
Yeah, I should probably find a wizard with some healing magic. Or a cleric.
So I say let's head to the tavern and we can look for a few other people there and get some food before we head into battle.
Just what?
Just want to kill it. Howdy bird.
You just want to kill. You gotta know. Okay, so are you all headed back to the tavern then?
Get some
For
food
lunch?
first.
Or are you going straight for the hole?
I'm going to find somebody who has potions, like a potion maker.
You seem to recall there were a few places where you could find that done throughout the day.
I'm going to try and get the most powerful potions I can afford.
How much money you got?
I currently have 4 copper, 65 silver, 461 gold, and even after he ate some and I paid her, I still have 20 platinum.
Alright.
I am literally the richest character in the group.
Well, I
Yeah.
have 76 gold, 38 silver.
Yeah, you're broke comparatively.
Yeah, compared to me, you're broke.
Well, I was gonna say I'll give you 50 gold, and can you pick up some potions for me too?
That'll get you one. Supply and demand,
I
man.
plan on buying supplies for everybody, bro. It's not just for me.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem that you're going to run into is supply and demand. The demand is very high, and there's only like 4 people who make potions in the whole town.
Yeah, and I would have 80 more platinum, but I gave 80 platinum to Viridia because they were bored.
And she left.
Yep.
She left.
Take the money and run.
I'm not worried about it. I'll get it back.
It's just money.
Right.
But
I mean, we're supposed to care about money. He usually does barter.
it's been working.
Man, I'm gonna go to the druids.
Alright.
So
Considering that the tent is attached to their camp because the refugee camp was attacked, they took them in. That's on your way.
Yep, I'm going to the druids.
you're gonna go to the druids. You're gonna go get food. What are you doing?
I already said I'm gonna go find potions.
Oh, that's right.
Which means you're going to go visit the druids at this point.
Yeah. That's cool because they're good to barter with.
They also have food.
Yeah, they're good to barter with too.
So I guess I'll just go with them to the druids.
Well, it's either that or you can go back to the tavern and have Laura Leaf's home cooking. There's more than one place.
Might as well keep the group together.
And so you'll make it out and about, and you see the druids in the grove are very, very busy right now. They are hustling and bustling around. They are cleaning up messes. It looks like some of them are trying to piece together ice statues again, just to make sure none of the parts are missing.
I'm looking for that one who kind of leads everything that I know doesn't quite like me.
Oh, so the head elder, nowhere to be seen right now.
I'm gonna do a hard look. I'm
Go ahead and roll perception.
I'm walking around looking specifically for him, and that's 5.
The answer is a very solid. You don't see any sign of the head druid.
Do I get any input from the other druids that I'm asking?
Tears.
Oh. Okay.
Tears, stammering, people looking down and walking away from you quickly.
I'm definitely going through that portal. Just this wild look in Kalora's eyes, like, this is happening. This is happening. I'm not okay right now.
Okay.
Very much in character.
So, Galora's making announcements to themselves of not being okay right now and definitely going to the portal after not being able to find the head druid no matter where they've looked. And what are you all doing?
I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try and find someone who has really good health potions.
You find potions, basic health potions right now under the current circumstances are going for about 150 gold apiece.
Okay, what about the higher end, like top shelf?
You'll be playing a platinum to pop, and there's only 5 available in town.
Like 5 potions or 5?
5 potions.
What are they? What are the healing aspects of the?
It's going to give you like a 64 healing on it, but it's going to be 1 platinum. There are 5 of them left in town, and a very limited supply. Supply and demand is a real thing, and a lot of shit's been happening over the last week.
What about if I guess I would be trying to get 2 of them off of them. I could either offer platinum or I could offer a trade.
It's up to you.
Well, I have green hag blood. I've got green hag adrenaline. I've got hag skin. I've got sea hag ash. I've got frost newt tooth. And then I still have a frost newt claw.
Well, I can take $5 off if you. I can take 5 bits off or gold off if you, depending on how much of the hag's blood you got.
3 quarts.
Okay, I can take 2 platinum off, and you can have all 5 of those potions for 10 platinum.
Deal.
At this point now, I'm just looking for someone.
5 potions. They each do 64 healing.
And now I'm just looking for somebody to do about 25 points worth of healing.
You were able to find that in a very short order. There are plenty of people who could heal you here. And they heal you up just fine. And kind of look at you expectantly, but don't ask for any payment.
I didn't spend all my money with the blacksmith. I pull out, like, a good little bit and hand it over.
Much obliged, miss. And you're a bird. It's hard to tell.
Actually, I think this might be the last thing I'm going to need here.
You said it cost me 10 platinum in addition.
Correct. And Kalora just handed away the rest of their money. Put it all to 0 if you really want to do that.
I'm aware I'm not coming back through this portal. I'm a tank who's decided I'm fighting a dragon.
So you're giving away all of your money in the off chance that you do survive.
In the off chance that I do survive, I will have 3 extra long swords I can sell for a little bit of cash, and I can work.
Oh, so you'll have a dragon sword.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, even split even split 3 ways.
I mean, shit, if we survived the fucking, like, if we could actually kill off the dragon, that would be even better, because then we'd have plenty of material.
I'm going through this portal. I'm done.
But I mean, even if you run out of dough, I guess covered.
Dodo dodio dodo dodio dodo dodio do.
People that the people I care about are dead, and I'm not okay.
I have a lot of gold.
That's the response you get. People that I care about are not okay, are getting hurt, and I'm not okay. And you hear, I've got a lot of gold.
No one
Please
is
and
getting.
Herbie.
No one is getting my black pearl dust. No one. I'm just saying, my black pearl dust is invaluable.
You have a lot of uses for it.
Oh, yeah.
Just one use for it is a lot of uses for it. Alright, so having properly squared yourself away running, did you have any preparations you wanted to make?
Got any food? I hand over.
They hand you standard hard rations.
Okay, that's all you got?
That's all we can spare.
I take the hard rations just in case I need them, and then I go back to the tavern to give me some real food.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Laura Leaf too.
Alright.
Say a fond farewell. Kalora is not expecting this to go well, but is just like, I have to do something. If I don't do something that is as bad as willingly doing nothing.
Yes.
Do you guys have any ice resistant potions? Anything that gives frost resistance?
No?
Do you know of any place around here that may have frost resistance?
No, we're pretty holed up right now. I mean, if you haven't noticed, things have been going all kinds of sideways around town lately.
What other potions do you have besides the healing potions?
Here?
Hmm?
Are you at the tavern or are you at the Druid's Grove?
I'm still at the Druid's Grove. I'm still like.
We
shopping
don't
around
have
potions.
much of anything left after the refugees. We're running on magic alone.
Do you guys need any other supplies?
We should be good with what we've got for taking care of people. But you might want to catch up with your friends. Something tells me that bird friend of yours is going to have their last meal and then jump headlong into whatever.
Yeah, more than likely. So I'm gonna start heading towards them.
And
See if
that,
we need any
that
fucking-
statement was said out loud. We have to do something. If I don't, it's as bad as willingly doing nothing.
So, Laura Leaf, you find Laura Leaf, the two of you arriving maybe moments before Wisp for continuity of story.
Yep.
You find Laura Leaf busy making sandwiches, cooking, tending to guests, and picking up on the gossip as usual as you step in to the cheerful traveler. There are the lunch rushes are upon them. Everything is far more crowded than usual because of the whole of the situation.
I take a 5 days worth of my last 5 rations, and yeah, I'm gonna go and my manacles and my holy water, and I'm gonna set it on the counter. So I gave my money away because, well, this isn't gonna go well.
What?
I'm going through the portal,
Oh, you're right. That's probably not going to go well.
but I have to do something. I am a fighter alone. I have to do something because if I don't, it is as bad as willfully doing nothing.
Well, you could go stand over in a corner with a stool, grab a box of this, or a bucket of this fluffed up corn, heat and oil does that to dried corn kernels. You could take your other hand, sit it just like this, and then plant your bum right on it and eat popcorn and watch. That's my plan.
Well, enjoy your popcorn. I have to do
I
something.
think I'll enjoy my thumb better.
But, would you be willing to take this for something resembling a decent meal?
I'll give you leftovers for breakfast and you can keep that crap.
I said town 10 gold and say, get a meal for both of us, please.
I got leftovers from breakfast. Ain't worth 10 gold. You can either eat it and not pay for it, or I can take your money and you can get the same crap anyway.
I'd like a large plate of leftovers. Breakfast was good.
I guess I'll take one too.
She doesn't do lunch. She's prepping for dinner right now. So,
A large plate breakfast is... Fuck yeah.
what about you? You still hungry, kitty cat? You're still wearing a good chunk of... Are those lick marks on your crotch? You dirty pervert.
It's mating season.
Cuffing season.
Well, I think there's a female alley cat about 3 blocks down that might be your flavor.
Not my cup of tea.
What, you don't like the little petite ones?
Nah. I like more cushion for my pushing.
Well, then find an orc. Or a dwarf.
I have had orc before. I hate it.
Sure you did.
She just walks over, oh, you cad, and wanders off back to the back. I'll go get you some lunch, too.
Okay.
And she comes back with, as you would expect, a very nice meal and looks at you and says, so, I guess I should wish you luck and I'll name the next ale recipe I come with after you if you die.
And what'll you do if we survive?
Applaud.
Sounds good to me.
Y'all catch the weird way that's working out?
Yeah.
we're good customers. That's a lot of money.
I mean, if we come back, we're alive.
And can spend all that.
Right. Ish.
At that point, we can sponsor an ale.
I know. Got you. So, all of that headed, all of your affairs firmly in order, correct?
Yeah.
Your affairs in order?
Yeah.
Your affairs in order?
Yeah.
Your affairs in order. The entire party makes their way to the temple, or to the portal.
Write that down.
This is where things are going to get interesting. Not in the way you're laughing.
Coming with me.
I can't believe that you guys actually thought I wasn't going to be prepared for the monkey wrench this time. And wasn't going to throw one of my own.
I just can't believe you're coming with me.
You're like, oh man. I mean, you have a reason to. That's fair.
Clara is mentally ill.
Currently, Wisp is just horny.
And I am looking something up. Because that needs to happen.
That's okay.
And here is where it gets interesting. Let me know when you guys are, as you make it there, it seems like people are gathering to watch you, and a crowd of people who heard you talking with Laura Leaf at the tavern are following you to see if they're really going to? What? We've got to see this. Oh my god. They're going to what? They're going to go through the Are all
see
things
me
that you
tightening
definitely
the
heard.
tightening the straps on my armor.
Your armor will be perfectly fitted by the time you get there, and everything will be in.
This is a very dead focus.
Why didn't I write that down?
And
Oh, because it's in my other sheet. My other sheet's missing. That's
as the three of you step through the portal, expecting to find snow beneath your feet, you instead find extremely cold, hard stone. Outside, a winter storm is raging through windows that you can see off maybe 15 to 20 feet from the room you're standing in.
Is it dark in this room, or is it?
Oh no, it's broad daylight. The windows don't have curtains on them. You can see. It is a square room with the sphere that is the would-be portal hovering. But something seems off about it. It just feels funny to you, as like something went awry. You see carvings of dragons throughout the inner wall, like going where the pillars are. The heads are topped with a coiled dragon's head, things of that nature.
Okay.
There is a blizzard outside, and what you see looks very much like the plane that you remember stepping out onto and what you saw on the other side of the portal.
Okay.
Everything outside the windows looks like a crystalline ice sculpture done in 700 shades of snow. And stone. Here, inside this place, lit by torches that barely keep it a livable one. You find yourselves in a gray room, peering out over a vast expanse of a snowy land. How many of you have a passive perception over 10? Cool, all of you. So you would hear what sounds like Gregorian chanting, like the Gregorian monk chants, in the background, echoing through stone hallways. Footsteps, obviously in hobbled boots. Somewhere you can barely hear the tinkling of iron chains. I say tinkling. And none of you are where you're expected to be. And because of time and things of that nature, and people's scheduling and things that were brought to my attention.
Before we can I look out the window and kind of like assess the area real quick?
Sure, go ahead. Roll perception for me. I need a number so that I know what to describe to you.
Okay.
Anybody looking with him?
Yeah, I'll look.
There's a reason why I'm looking.
The player's pissed.
Because I'm just as twisted as your other DM.
And I'm loving it. No, I'm really excited for where this is going. Still not expecting it to back.
24.
Yeah, 5.
5. How did you perception out the window?
No.
No?
No, I am
Just in sheer shock at the fact that you're in a building?
more just holding my face and trying not to just scream in frustration.
Well, you do have a nice metal beak now.
And all that I see is white, I'm guessing, out of 4.
Actually, you looking out the windows,
Correction, 5.
because of Wisp being there and would be pointing shit out to you, Wisp, what you catch is what you'd swear almost looks like a relatively decent-sized city made of ice and stone. Like where there would be mortar normally in the bricks, they're frozen together.
How far away is it, like out the window?
It's like if we were talking like a relative, like a castle type expanse. Think England 1300s London.
Okay,
If you were at Buckingham Castle and you looked out the front and surveyed the land over the Thames,
Okay.
what you would have seen there is about the size of this city.
So am I looking downwards or am I looking straight out?
You're looking down and out.
Okay, down and out. Alright, cool.
So you can see that this is like the equivalent of Buckingham Castle from the Buckingham asshole. There we go, guys.
Yeah.
The last person who was the shit that lived there moved out.
It's the asshole of Buckingham.
Yep, that's on the throne now. I don't like Charles.
Who does?
I mean, it's all
His
about
wife.
the throne.
His wife's actually chill. But anyway, with all that being said, Camilla is actually chill. With everything that's like going on with everything that you see a city forever in winter. You see ice statues where bronze would be normal. You see people going about their daily lives. And you'd swear you could almost see farmers' fields in the distance. There's only one catch. You're really not sure what the hell would grow in this climate.
Okay.
It's all white ice and snow. And that is where I'm going to leave you all to figure out what the hell I just did to you for the next week.
No, I love it. I hate it, but I love it.
And thank you for joining us. And as always, please like, share, subscribe, and live long and prosper. Bye!
Bye!